World on the Fly. Yeah. It doesn't mean a flying world. It just means nothing is edited. Everything is happening as you see it. Now, I just was looking at something which made me realize how things get clouded over hundreds of years, thousands of years, right? What I was saying in episode 12, the last episode, was that all of the denuding of the North African continent can be put down to the activities of people who lived during that time. The same people that live there today in the Nile Valley will tell you that it's a very fertile and wonderful place to live, because that's all they have left after thousands of years of just wanton power creation, fighting, wars, one war finished, another begins, and just go and get the trees needed to make the ships and kidnap the slaves needed, and etc. And while I was thinking about that, I just happened to flick onto YouTube and have a quick look at a documentary on the Exodus. This is the Jewish thing where they said around about 1270 BC, the Egyptians, the Jews exited Egypt. It's biblical history, right? So I just thought I'd show you a little bit of that because it'll set the tone for what I'm going to say next.
And yet, when you try to do that, they try to adjust chronology to fit their predetermined notion of biblical history. You can't do it.
Maybe we have to. What if scholars are placing the Exodus in the wrong time period? Imagine the confusion. If in the future, scholars date World War II to the 1990s, they'll never find any evidence that it actually happened. Currently, most scholars date the Exodus to 1270 BCE, during the reign of Pharaoh Ramses II. But some scholars are now breaking with that consensus.
The Bible gives information that would put the Exodus about 480 years before the early years of Solomon, in the middle of the 15th century BC.
Professor Bimson's calculations move the Exodus from its present date to 1470 CCE, less than 100 years from the traditional date of the Hyksos expulsion. These are too close to write off as a coincidence, so we have a new date for the Exodus, approximately 1500 BCE.
So what? You see, that's what I say. It doesn't matter to get into the minutiae and the details of what happened day to day during the development, if you want to call it that, of all this area. Because when you look at it, which they didn't have Google Earth in those days, or even up until the last 10 years, is only when we've been able to, the average person's been able to look at the Earth from a satellite and twist it around like I'm doing here, as if you were some sort of spaceman. It didn't exist. So this could be one of the first attempts to analyze the progress of man and history by looking at the big picture, the really big picture. And it doesn't matter whether the Israelites exited Egypt 50 years this side or that side, and those type of studies are missing the point, because there's not just the Israels, there's not just the Jordanese or the Damascus people or the Cypriots or the Greeks or the whatever. They all had the same thing going on. We've got to get some materials. We've got a war coming on. We need to chop these trees. We want to grow cattle. We want to do this. We want to do that. It's all adventure and excitement, and let's do this. And look at this. There's nothing there anymore. They've chopped it all down. It's a lifestyle of using whatever's available and creating what is considered to be a better environment, which is called a city. And there it is, right? No trees, roofs, houses, everyone in their own little box, and growing what you can in an organized fashion in rows like this and like this. I don't know what they're growing there. That looks like they plowed it. But this is what the whole world. I mean, if it was, if you were from a land, say in the mountains here, and you didn't go anywhere, and someone traveled up this little road here, see this little road, and they came to your little village, which is the top of the hill, and said, you know, in a faraway land, they've chopped everything down and they just grow one thing, and it goes as far as the eye can see. You would look around here, and you see trees, and you say, I don't believe it. I don't believe that such a land exists. And there it is, right there. With Google Earth, you can go straight to that land and see that it does exist. So people are hard. Their mind is too small to comprehend the scale of the destruction. And in episode 14, this is 13. In episode 14, the next one, World on the Fly 14, what are we going to look at? We're going to look at something. I haven't decided yet. It's a work in progress, but it's going to have something to do with this area here where there's no trees. I did notice something though when I zoomed into Russia. It's got the heaviest tree cover of any country in the modern world. 50%, even in the towns. That's something that surprised me. So in episode 14, I'll surprise you too. I'll try and find that that irrigation area that I saw before with the round irrigation. Ah, there it is. I didn't have to wait. This is underground irrigation. Each one of these is about a mile in diameter, and they have the same thing in Kansas. Let's find out the name of the town that's near so I can go back to it again. Fennegill, right? Fennegill. We'll go back to Fennegill in episode 14. We'll have a look at Fennegill and ask questions about these little dots here, right? Right in the middle of the desert. Okay? That's coming up on episode 14. See ya.